Who breath is basically an ancient breathing technique designed by the masters. I just revived it for modern times. And how I've done that was I've had 25 years of spiritual experiences with different spiritual masters, and I've learned the basic fundamentals of what makes us tick emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Now, what does Who breath do? Well, I'll call it the doctor, the physician, and your spiritual master all in one. Because before, it was known scientifically that it was impossible to biohack the autonomic system. The autonomic system means the things that we've got no control over, like our breathing, like our hearts pumping, like our lungs, blood circulating, etc. They've done experiments with Himalayan monks, gurus, highly evolved being, and they found that, hey, you can biohack the autonomic system. And I think one man they call him the Iceman, but the Wim Hof, and he actually, you could see it on YouTube, and he actually, I don't know which university, I think it was Barclays or something in the States, they literally injected him with E. coli, which will render anyone like useless. Nothing happened to him. So what happens is we have got two parts in our bodies. One is called the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. The sympathetic part is fight or flight. Now, there's nothing different from now to before. Before we were probably hunter-gatherer days, we were scared of some kind of wild animal coming to eat us, right? But now, that same reptilian brain, we call it, or the primitive brain, releases the same chemicals, because now we have the same fight or flight, except we have more, because we've got to get to work on time. We've got targets, we've got relationships, we've got children, we've got mortgages, etc., etc. Companies, it's like bombardment of that state called fight or flight. So what we do with breath is we trick the brain. When someone is in that state, they go into almost like chronic stress, and the brain releases something called cortisol. Cortisol is a poison that goes and attacks all the other cells around it. So what happens when we trick it, we do the breath, say that's one, we do 40 of those. On the 40th, say for instance, you hold your breath for as long as you can. Your brain is not used to that because it's used to breathing regularly. So what it does, it thinks it's dying. So what it does is we trick it to go into almost like a near-death experience state where it releases adrenaline and DMT as opposed to cortisol. And that sets a healing process. And as I said, it's your doctor, your physician, and your spiritual master all in once. And when people experience this, and we have many, many different breathing exercises. We have stuff for stress, we have stuff for sleep, it's a science, and we break it down and we give you the right prescription and the right description for whatever you need. And so that's the basis, because that's the foundation. And when people experience that for the first time, some people have out-of-body experiences, some people are just blissed out, some people go, oh my God, it's the best night's sleep I've ever had. Some people laugh, because we store a lot of things in our bodies, and as they say, the body remembers. Subconsciously, we are a creation of that 7-year-old. And I can tell you this, everybody that's ever come to one of my retreats, after a while, when the facade drops and the breathwork does its work, I see just hurt 7-year-olds. And it's connecting to that inner child and start to understanding the basis of who you are as opposed to who you think you are. And these are the tools that we give. Once that happens, you surrender. There is no ego. There is just, oh wow, I've just experienced something naturally extraordinary that I've never experienced before. Teach me more, tell me more. And that's when we start talking about the mental, from depression, anxiety, PTSD, trauma, and so many other things. And we break that down. And we've all suffered with one thing or another at different stages in our lives. But what we do is, if anyone is going through any of that, we now can give you the tools. And those tools will show you the results in less than 10 minutes, where you're like, I can't believe this. And that's the power of Who Breath. What would businesses get out of the Who Breath method is the following, because they are experiencing absenteeism, presenteeism, legal costs, health costs, low morale, which basically causes less productivity, because a company at the end of the day, it has to meet its targets in the quickest possible time without having all the dramas that come with what mental health gives. So what we give them is the tools to arm them. And not only do we spend that day or 2 days with you, or a week if you wish, what we do that other companies don't do is, and what sets us apart, is the aftercare. Because I can guarantee you and your employees would be floating on air without a care. What you will get out of it is high positivity, which creates high morale, which creates high productivity, which creates high income, which creates less outpayment towards those things that are debilitating for some of the businesses, especially medium and small businesses, because of the money factor. So, but what we do afterwards is like, you've gone and we basically work with you, even on a weekly basis, depends, because we've got different packages, but we've got counselors, we've got HR business people, we've got CEOs, and we've got managers, and we've got experts in the field of how do we sustain that positive energy. We will hold you accountable, which is because this is one of the big things that fails a project, accountability. So we will hold you accountable. We will give you classes. We will talk to people personally if they want to be talking to our experts in their fields. All that's inclusive. And that, I think that's what sets us apart, because, you know, you can make someone feel good instantly. But if in 1 week or 2 weeks go back to what they were, then what's the point? And our point is about sustainability and giving them something that will highlight the company's credibility, sustainability, and hopefully takes away a little bit of insanity. Well, you know, I believe that when someone is speaking from a point of experience, it resonates a lot more. In other words, if you've had depression and you've gone through anxiety and you've gone through all of this stuff, I can guarantee you I've been through them, because of the ups and downs and the failures that I've had throughout life. Meaning I tried my best, but I got here and it just was not happening. And you're knocking on doors and you get in a no. And that no, it doesn't stop right there, because for me, that no is going to become a yes, even if I have to do it 1,000 times. I'm going to get a yes. And that yes will probably be the change in my life, in my company's life, in my family life. So for me, it's about, 1, being your true authentic self. 2, genuinely want to see people become a better version of themselves. And 3 is the joy of seeing someone change and you have been an instrument of that change. Because to me, that's priceless. You know, a lot of people do certain things and the first thing they see is money. Well, that's never been part of my world. It's never been part of my life, because I've lived a wonderful life with money, without money. To me, it's about the legacy. It's about what you're going to leave behind as the change, as the great Gandhi said, become the change we wish to see in the world. So, yeah, you don't want to be the richest man in the grave, but your words, your actions with the right intention that helps people evolve and become a better version of themselves. It's about making an everlasting change with the right action, with the right intention for people to evolve and become the best version of themselves. Now, to me, that's priceless. For me, I'm an open book. And like I said, I think you have to be your genuine, authentic self. It's like, oh, I'm going to hide this. Oh, I don't want to do this. No, Because for me, the experiences that I had to go through, as testing as they were, and as powerful as they were, powerful they were. Because I took them and I went, well, they happened for a reason. So if I'm just going to hold them to myself, well, what's the point? I already know how to heal myself and what to do with myself. But if I share those experiences with other people, one, they're going to go, wow, he's human, just like us. Oh, he's gone through this, maybe worse. And guess what? If he can come out of it with this mindset, there is hope and there is a chance for us to do so. So bring it on. Let's share and let's care. And above all, let's just be, from beginning to end, let's be the best that we can be. Wow, it's been a revelation because we've got testimonials. We've had people like Gemma, she allowed me to speak about her. She had PTSD for 20 years. She came to one of our retreats, and in her testimonial, she's like, do you know what? I got more out of 2 weeks in your retreat than I have 20 years seeing a therapist. I'm not on my medication anymore. I'm living life. I feel free. Look, I got goosebumps right, even talking about it. To me, that is unbelievable. We've had another girl, Lauren, again, she had so many phobias, literally she wouldn't even touch her foot in the sea. Again, freed over a week. We've had many, many other people who have had incredible life-changing experiences. And I'm not here to say I'm a physician or a psychologist or anything like that. I can't even take the credit for this. And I'll tell you for why. Because when people come on a Sunday and they leave on a Saturday, they go, Cheeks, what have you done to us? This is unbelievable. And I always say, nothing. I just pointed you to your own truth. The breath has done the work. You surrendered and you became humble, and then you connected with yourself and gave yourself that self-love that you deserve. And above that, you were thankful. The right attitude is gratitude. And that's all I've done. I've just literally said, here you go. I facilitated change, but the change comes from within you. And that's what's so powerful about this, because no one can claim anything that's not already in you. We're just here to show you the way.